Manchester United took on Chelsea at Old Trafford. This was the second game in charge of Ruud van Nistelrooy as an interim manager, which resulted in a 1-1 draw with Bruno Fernandes scoring a penalty at the 70th minute and Moises Caicedo scoring a absolute worldie of a goal in the 74th minute of the game. Let's break down the game and see how it went. I personally felt that the game was pretty even and there was a lot of good plays that happened for both Manchester United and Chelsea. It was pretty much an end-to-end game where even Chelsea, when they were attacking, they were able to counter Manchester United, and when Manchester United were attacking, they were able to fully counter Chelsea. This was one of these instance that happened during the early phases of the game where Onana made a good save, but then it hits the post and goes away. I think it was a good sign for Chelsea where they were almost very close to score a goal in the 14th minute of the game. Now, there are a couple of things I really wanted to talk about when it comes to Onana and Ugarte. I think Ugarte is a wonderful defensive midfielder who can break the play, he can make interceptions, he can control a bit of tempo of the game. But when it comes to passing, I'm not sure if he's there at that level which Manchester United require. Maybe he will gradually improve. He's just 25 years of age, so he has a lot of time and potential to do that. But when it comes to passing, feel that he lacks a bit of those capabilities. But when it comes to defensive duties or interceptions, I think he is absolutely on par as a world-class defensive midfielder. This is where he drove with the ball uh, on Chelsea, and I think he almost ran, I think, more than 20 yards, almost close from the halfway line to the 18-yard box of Chelsea, and he could have just passed the ball to one or the other player who were making those runs. But unfortunately, he couldn't do that, and then Gusto fouls him, and Manchester United get a free kick for that. There was This is where Bruno Fernandes takes that free kick, but it hits the wall, and they are not able to convert it. But I think the chance from Ugarte, if he would have just passed it, it could have changed the game for Manchester United. Now this is an horrible shite pass from Onana, where you see Casemiro is being pushed by three players. So one is charging Onana, pressing him. Two other players are trying to press Casemiro, and Onana, instead of going long and trying to place it for Højlund or Rashford or Garnacho, any of the players on the wing or forward, he tries to attempt a short pass for Casemiro, which luckily he escapes, but it could have been a goal and a howler from Onana. But I think it just got saved, and Casemiro and Onana, they both were lucky to get away with that. But I think it's totally on Onana. He should not be doing these kind of passes when you already know that there are two players trying to press him. Now, just on the halfway mark, Marcus Rashford gets an amazing chance, which, to be honest, he does take it beautifully, but it hits the post and goes out. I think this would have given United a 1-0 lead if he could have tried to place it better, but I think he did make a good shot. He was a bit unlucky where it hit the post and went away, just like how it happened with the Chelsea players initially in the game. Now, Marcus Rashford, I really need to talk about a couple of things. He turned 27 this week, and he has a couple of wonderful seasons. I still feel he has a lot of potential, but he needs to start delivering at a higher level now. He's 27, and if you compare with the teammates that he's around with, Højlund, Sirski, Garnacho, Mainu, Ugarte, he is the most senior player there. Not with all of them, maybe Casemiro is there, Bruno is there, Eriksen is there, but I'm comparing with the other players around him, and he needs to really step up his game, try to put in a performance that the other players see and they try to learn from him. So I think really needs to start stepping up his game, his contributions in the game. Now, we really need to talk about Garnacho. I really don't want to destroy him, but he had a couple of opportunities that could have made United come back with 2 or 3 goals. This is one chance where Bruno puts him through. He fluffs the shot, which directly goes to Sanchez. There was one more chance which I couldn't get the image for, where he could have just slid the ball to Rashford, who was making that run. He had enough space to run into, but he doesn't pass the ball. He tries to run with the ball, and eventually he loses it. And there was one more chance where I think it was from Casemiro where he puts the ball for Garnacho and he fluffs that shot as well in the early stages. I think it was in the first half. So if Garnacho could have maybe taken the right decisions of passing it when it was required or trying to finish the chances where he could have done, I think Manchester United would have come out with this game with at least 2 or 3 nil, or maybe if they considered a goal that is there, but at least they could have scored 2 or 3 goals for sure if Garnacho could have taken those chances. Now he's just 20 years of age, so I really don't want to destroy him, saying that he's not at that level. He's still very young, he has lots to learn, but he really needs to start making good decisions. Even though in terms of finishing, maybe it's there, okay, he tried to shoot, it got fluffed, it didn't go the way he wanted, that's totally fine. But when it comes to making decisions on passing the ball, where he has acres of space, when he knows the other player like Rashford, who's a speed merchant, he will, who's making that run, just slit the ball to him, just let him run, try to link up the play. I think this is something that he really needs to improve on. And if he could have taken those chances, the game could have turned out completely different for Manchester United. Now, this incident that happened in the 69th minute of the game, where Højlund took a foul from Sanchez, which got Manchester United the penalty. Now, Bruno Fernandes took the penalty pretty well. There were a lot of debate on social media where people were saying it's not a penalty, it's a soft one. I don't know about the soft or not, but Sanchez didn't get the ball at all. He didn't have a touch on the ball. So for me, it's a plain penalty all day long. I don't know about what others think. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. But for me, it was a definite penalty. Sanchez doesn't get the ball at all, and he clips the leg of Højlund, and he has to go down. He has to get that penalty, and that gives Manchester United a 1-0 lead. This is where you see Bruno Fernandes scores the penalty, and it's a wonderful taken penalty. But the most amazing thing here to see is Casemiro and Onana are sitting on the halfway line, squatting it most probably, and they Casemiro is looking towards the other side, and Onana is looking towards the goal. And I don't know what they were talking or what if it was some kind of supposition that they were trying to do, but it definitely worked for Manchester United. But it was a very funny thing to see where all the other players are trying to be there near the 18-yard box of Chelsea, but these two players are sitting on the halfway line squatting. Unfortunately for Manchester United, they could not take control of the game, and just in 4 minutes later, Caicedo scores a absolute banger of a goal. He scores from outside of the box, and the goal goes in. It's a wonderful taken shot, and I think Caicedo had a wonderful performance yesterday as well. He was making most of the interceptions. He was trying to break up play. He was trying to progress with the ball, and I think he's coming back to what Chelsea bought him for trying to have an impact on the game, trying to break the play, and he scored this goal. This goal was out of the box, a very well taken goal from Caicedo. And I personally felt that somebody or the other, if you see the image here, Caicedo is almost free, where all the players are inside the box for Manchester United. At least one player, maybe Garnacho or anybody else, should try to close him down as quickly as possible, but he gets enough room and he takes a shot and it goes well. But it's a good shot, and I don't think I cannot blame Onana for that. I think it's a wonderfully taken shot and it goes on the side netting, so I think that's there. Now this incident happened in the closing stages of the game where Martinez tried to foul Cole Palmer. Now this thing, he does do a high footing, and although I agree with the decision that maybe it's a bit soft, but I think he's lucky to get away with a yellow card. It could have been easily a red card for Leandro Martinez, and it could have just spoiled the upcoming games for Manchester United. But I think he was lucky, and I think the VAR and the ref did Manchester United a bit of favor, and to Martinez as well. But we have seen these given as red cards in the Premier League, and these days in the Premier League, you just cannot guess what card would be given to a particular player. When will the VAR intervene? We have seen that a lot of times with Arsenal and with Manchester United as well, with the goals being allowed, disallowed, the cards being given, from cards being changed from yellow to red for Arsenal. So anything can happen, but I still feel Martinez was a bit lucky and he should be more careful in trying to make those tackles. I think he had a very good game. He was trying to break up play, he was trying to progress the ball, his defensive duties were on par, but I think this was a bit stupid move from him. which could have easily got him a red. Now, Bruno Fernandes was put in a very difficult spot where he was asked about Eric Ten Hag and what happened, how he felt about it, where and on his capabilities of scoring a goal. So Bruno said, "I normally score a lot of goals, but I always give 100%." He, Eric Ten Hag, is aware of that. It is easier to get rid of a manager than 15 players. I spoke to the manager and apologized to him. I was disappointed that he has gone, and I tried to help him. I wasn't scoring goals, we were not scoring goals, and I feel responsible. Whenever you see a manager, whenever you see a manager go, you have to take some of the blame on yourself. It is because the team is not doing so well. We know that Eric Ten Hag has gone. It is not good for anyone at the club. When the manager goes, the team is not the best, the results are not the best, and he's the one who pays for it. And I completely agree with this. But I also agree with Roy Keane's statement where he said that it is too little too late, where that whole team, if they really are trying to give an apology to Eric Ten Hag or anybody for that sake, they should have done that on the pitch, try to perform on the pitch. Bruno Fernandes has not been having a good season in the past one and in the current season. They should have been performing on the pitch. If they performed on the pitch, Eric Ten Hag would have still been in the job. So I think it's a bit too little too late. I agree with Roy Keane's comment on that. It was good to see Ruud van Nistelrooy as an interim manager for me, and I really liked the celebration that he had when Bruno Fernandes scored the penalty. When he was asked about the questions, he said, "We are behind the new managers. Everyone at the club is focusing on the two games that are coming, which are very important. But then we will work hard to make this club better every day." He said it was a great moment, the goal when Old Trafford explodes. Bruno Fernandes did well taking it, and the emotions came out. This week has been special. I have enjoyed every second of it. I'm here to help and will get behind the new manager and make sure the club grows. I'm disappointed we didn't win. We had a better of the chances in the game, and the overall the performance was fantastic. They left all out on the pitch. I try to share the culture of the club, the culture of the town, and the fans. That's an important part. I'm glad that I can share these moments and help the players understand the spirit. I saw the spirit on the pitch on Wednesday and today. That's the foundation to grow. Root, he further adds and says that I came here to help the club in any capacity. After these two games, that will continue and hopefully it can work out. It's a special to be back in the city and at the club. I really enjoy every single minute of it. And when asked about the, it's an emotional roller coaster, it has been a full week where so many things happened. My job was to steady the ship. The players reacted very well, something to build in the next two games. And I do agree with Ruud van Nistelrooy. I think he really helped Manchester United in, as an interim manager, but I think it's now on the new manager and see what he does. Now, in terms of expected goals, I think Manchester United were 1.98 to Chelsea's 1.10, and if they could have just taken their chances, they could have easily won this game. They had wonderful chances, but they just misfired all of them. Now, in terms of big chances, it is 4-1, total shots 11-12, goalkeeper saves 2-3, corner kicks 4-8, fouls 19-14, passes 405 to 475, tackles 22-20, free kicks 13-19, and yellow cards 6-2. And I personally feel I think Bruno Fernandes and Mazarawi, they both had an enormous game. Bruno Fernandes for taking the penalty and in a very beautiful way, and Mazarawi, he really took control of that fullback position and made sure nothing passed him. He had an absolute brilliant game. But I do feel Garnacho, Rasmus Højlund, Sirski when he came on, I think he looks terribly slow. He really, I don't know, he's so young, but I'm not sure what is going wrong with him. Maybe he's not linking up properly, or maybe he's not maybe setting up in Manchester United properly. But something is going wrong for him. Ugarte, in terms of passing, I think it was a total failure. But in terms of his defensive duties and breaking up the play, I think he did a pretty good job. Casemiro was also okay. Matheus Dillis and Lisandro, I think they both had a wonderful performance. And the goal was somebody had to go and block Caicedo before he takes that shot, but I don't think it is on any of those people. So overall, I think the team performed well. They did create a lot of chances. If just for Garnacho or the other forward players, if they could have just taken it, the game could have turned out completely different. So that's the video then and there, people. Do let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think Manchester United should change in the upcoming games, and what will the new manager bring? I will make a video on that. What will the new manager is all about? What are his tactics? And I will put in the effort that is required. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about this game and what are your takeaways? So thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and share it among your friends. That will really help the channel grow. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you.